to the beBetter podcast with Infinity Real Estate Services. True stories from Bakersfield's business owners and entrepreneurs. We have sold over 50,000 homes in the Kern County area, and we are still going. Delete your limiting beliefs. If you have a dream, turn it into a goal. Only massive, inspired action will get you to where you want to be. If you're starting a business or looking to grow one, you're in the right spot. Welcome to the beBetter experience.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the beBetter podcast, brought to you by Infinity Real Estate Services. I am your host today, Summer Webb. I'm really excited about the guest I have today. He is a close personal friend of mine, and he goes by the name of Jersey Larry. Hi,
Hello.
Jersey Larry.
How you doing?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, I think.
Yeah, well, that's to be determined, right? So I know a little bit about you. Actually, very little about you. And the people in our audience know nothing about you except for the fact that your name is Jersey Larry, and I just have to dive into it. How does one get a nickname like Jersey Larry?
Well, I guess it's kind of obvious, but yeah, I was born and raised in New Jersey, and I'm in the middle of Bakersfield, so there's not many of us Jerseyans out here. But yeah, born and raised for 28 years. I lived in Jersey, and I made my way out here for work back in 1996, and it's like the mafia, man. I've tried to get out of Bakersfield, and it drags me back in no matter what I've tried.
You're stuck.
But I'm stuck here. I like it. The people are great. It's just I miss the beach, you know.
Well, we are centrally located. I know the West Coast and the East Coast are two different cha-chas, but...
And I'm a Jersey Shore guy. I go to the shore. This is before that show came out, which I can tell you half of those guys, most of them are not Jerseyans. They're all New Yorkers, so they give us a bad name. But I'm a Jersey Shore guy. My license plate on my car says J Shore.
That's right. It
One
does.
of my, yeah.
Yep. So it wasn't a girl. Usually it's a girl that brings you to Bakersfield, California. It was employment,
but in a way it was a girl. I was serious with a girl, but I had, I was kind of messing up in life, and I ended up back at mom and dad's house, and I was working for a company back in the day called Nextel, and it just started. And
I remember that
company. Having a girl that lives in Brooklyn, I'm in Jersey, and we decided to make a life. So I needed to get out of the parents' house. And they were interviewing me all over the country. I got lucky there, right? And I've never been west of the Mississippi. So I said, I'm going to get a free plane ride. I'm going to go see California, thinking I'm going to go see Baywatch. Like, I think I'm going.
You thought you were going to Hollywood.
And I ended up in Bakersfield. And I came in February where it just finished raining. Green grass in the valleys. I know I'm talking with my hands here on a radio podcast, but whatever. So there's green fields, green mountains, ice-capped mountains. It's beautiful, clear air. I'm loving the way this place looks, and they made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So I ended up coming out here thinking that this is the beginning of my life, and I'm going to bring the girlfriend over. And then eventually, though, it was supposed to be a 3 to 5 year plan. I was going to go back to Miami. That's where we're going to end up. But distance kind of ended our relationship. I did end up in Miami, just not without her for a while. And then I'm back.
So did you go to Miami for work?
So after, yeah, I was
it
here.
A different girl?
In a way, maybe. It was different. It was Y2K was going on, if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And actually, I got paid good money to stay because I work for a wireless company. So cell phone companies, it's pretty emergency services, that type of thing. We were worried if things went wrong on Y2K. So I had a big bonus to stay in Bakersfield, and I stayed till like January of 2000. Once the world didn't end,
yeah,
I had already interviewed all over, and I had a job open in Miami. And so I did go to Miami, but the problem or the catch was that at the time I had a baby mama drama here in Bakersfield.
Oh.
And
okay, hold on, wait.
Okay.
Stop. Pump the brakes for a second. So you left home to come to Bakersfield, California because of work, and you had a girl, right, that was supposed to come out. Did she ever make it out to Bakersfield?
She did not. She also had a pretty good career, and she could not find work in Bakersfield.
But you managed to find a baby mama in Bakersfield.
When we broke up, she was my fiance, basically. So my fiance and I broke up. I was just having fun. And I told baby mama that. And I tell this story to some people, and it might sound bad, but baby mama tried to trap me by having a baby, and
we'll do that.
It didn't work out. But I can tell you that today, that baby is the greatest blessing I've ever had. I'm friends with baby mama. As a matter of fact, I'm friends with baby mama's husband.
That's
I am
awesome.
welcome at their house, and they moved to Texas. And they've had their kids come visit me, their daughters and kids, their sons. They come.
I remember that.
They come to visit all the time, just the kids,
Yeah.
So we have a really interesting relationship that's not typical.
That's how it should be. When you're grown up, like, it's not about you anymore. It's about the next generation and those kids and their life, and
Yes.
how you communicate with her is a direct reflection to them of who you are.
We were blessed, like you said, we all wanted the best, what's best for our kids, even the husband, the new husband, and we're good friends, and I'm blessed.
That's good. That's how it should be. My brother actually, he married a girl that had 2 children prior to them getting married and having their child, and they babysit the other one's kid. Like, they're all very involved in each other's lives. We went up there for the oldest, Cameron. She graduated high school, and like, she had a party at the house, and like all of the baby daddies were there, and their new people and their new children. And it's just like, it's really beautiful, because I was not raised like that. Like, my parents used us as pawns to try to
That's the tough
one
one.
up each other, so.
No, it is a little different. It's just when you finally get out of each other's way and remember it's about the kids, I think you can have a chance at something else. So I got blessed.
It took a lot of growing up on my part for my perception of the world to change, so that I could be, an asset to the world instead of a victim of it all the time. So I want to touch a little bit on this. We know each other from a fellowship that brought us together that actually, I'll just say, it completely changed my life, and I wouldn't be the person I am today if it wasn't for that fellowship. And it teaches me on a daily basis how to be a better person and how to show up better for everyone in my life. So my extent of time is a little over 7 years. How long have you been living a better life?
I'd like to say all day, but really it started
Chronologically,
19 years ago.
19
So it's in 2004. I was introduced to the fellowship, grudgingly sat in the rooms, and eventually I listened to people that were having a better life than me and that had less than me, and it was annoying. So I had to kind of finally find out what they were talking about. And like you said, I get to live a second life in the same lifetime, and I'd say that most people, at least I can't get to where I'm at from where I came from. So the fellowship changed me. And I don't even know, like you say better, I always say I'm different. And so far it seems better, I'm a different person than I used to be. I look the same, I guess.
So,
Still a Guido wannabe from Jersey.
He's in, no, it wasn't angry.
Macho Latin man.
Macho Latin man. I've never wanted to be able to say that until I heard him say, I'm a macho Latin man. I'm like, I want to be a macho Latin man. I identify as a macho Latin man when I'm angry. Anyways, 2004. So where's that in relation to Florida?
So
Did you go to Florida before then? Or after?
Yes. So I was still in my
So do you have any baby mamas in Florida?
no baby. So baby mama was here in Bakersfield, and I went to Florida, and like I said, she actually tried to trap me at the time. I was already looking for work outside of Bakersfield. I got the job offer, and she was trying to keep me in Bakersfield. I wasn't ready at that time. I get to Florida, I found out she's pregnant. So I worked for 2 years in Miami. I love Florida. I mean, and the diversity is different.
I've never been to Florida.
There's the beaches are beautiful, and I'm Latin. When I say Latin, I'm Colombian. So there's not many of us here on the West Coast. And when you go to Miami, it's different. It's like like you're in South America.
Oh, wow.
You can't just say Latin. You can't just say it's not a Mexican, it's not a Cuban, even though a lot of Cubans are there. Everything, Argentinian, Brazilians, Colombians, Venezuelan, Ecuadorians, every culture is there represented. It's just a different kind of world. The music, the ambiance, it's a wonderful place to be.
The weather's beautiful most of the time.
And if you don't like it, every half hour it changes. It's tropical,
that's
right?
nice.
So, I guess, one thing is like if there is a hurricane, you get warning. So it's up to you to leave. I always worry. I'm here in California. The earthquake hits, you get no warning.
We get no warning. Yeah. No.
You just swallowed up.
It's just happening. Your life is now different.
So no, baby mama was here in Bakersfield. We were trying to make it work again, long distance, which I guess I'm a warning sign for that. And so it didn't work out, and that's why I'm back. So now I have a son that was born, but she's in Bakersfield, and I'm in Miami. I made my way back.
What year was your son born?
He was born in 2000, right? And that's the year she was pregnant. She was born in 2000. End of 2000, August. So I'd been there 8 months. We tried to make it work. And in by 2002, I was back here in LA. That's the closest I can get to Bakersfield. So then I became Disneyland dad. Every weekend
LA.
I'd come to get my son. And
you're still working, you're a wireless communications engineer.
Wireless engineer, like radio frequency engineer. They call it, can you hear me now? Remember that commercial?
Yes,
that guy running around? That's me.
So, and you've been in that line of business essentially
since 94.
California, right?
Since before that. Since 94. Actually, I got to tell you that the last 3 years I've been project manager. So it's kind of a different side shoot of the same company, just running things a little differently. But currently, what is it? Involuntarily retired.
He's freelancing at the moment?
Yes.
On hiatus?
That's what I guess you'd call it. Yeah.
My daughter's processing out of the Army, and our kids, I didn't realize how close they are in age. My daughter was born in 2001. Okay. So they're almost the same age. But when she gets out of the Army, she'll do contract work, which as you're talking, like all I can think of is it sounds like you do contract work.
That's what I've been doing lately, contract work. But we're the first to get cut sometimes, but there's good and there's pluses and minuses for it. Just a lot of companies, it's not our parents' age anymore where they go to a company and they retire there, and
that's not the world we live in anymore.
It's a lot of, I've been reduction in force. So I can say, even when I was drinking, when I was partying, I kept my job. I'm a pretty high performer. But it's just the companies keep buying each other out. So Nextel was bought by Sprint, so they reduction of force. Even here when I was in Bakersfield Cellular, if you guys remember that from a long time ago, AT&T came in. All they did was take my mug off my desk and change it from Bakersfield Cellular to AT&T in reduction of force. So things like that happen. And Bakersfield's not a hotbed. So you got to work in the LAs and the San Franciscos a lot to go keep those jobs. So I've done a lot of that where I have a home in Bakersfield, but I have an apartment. I rent a room out in LA for Monday through Friday.
That's gonna get expensive.
The trouble is I got a dog, and it's kind of tough leaving my dog behind. So
what kind of dog do you have?
Back then was a boxer mutt. And right now I have a border collie who demands a lot of attention.
They are very.
And so that's one reason right now I'm unemployed, because I'm trying to find where I can fit in, because if going to rent a room in LA, you got to have where you're going to have a dog,
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of rooms for rent in LA. They're all dog friendly.
Yes. Very
Please
difficult.
Bring your pets.
That's affordable.
So your son is 23?
He's 23, going on 24 in August.
And then is he in school?
He is. He's doing his. He's meandering around. He's part-time school in Texas. He's working in a casino in Oklahoma. So he's moved to Oklahoma.
That's what I wanted to talk about in Jersey.
What's that?
I read that gambling is huge. That's like a big, big deal over there. Do you like to gamble?
I do. I like it. Luckily, that's not an addiction that I have yet.
Problem for you?
Yet. Like I go with money I expect to lose. But Atlantic City, for example, it's serious gambling. And so I love Vegas. Vegas is like my Disneyland, right? But Atlantic City is twice the money, half the size. Like it's big rollers over there, like big time, big gamblers. It's not about the family.
It's all high limit slots.
It's about gambling and other vices, right? It's not for the family to go visit. Atlantic City is not the boardwalk where the casinos are at is okay, but the rest of Atlantic City is a dangerous place to be.
Really?
But I used to go party there a lot with my friends, and because they were open later. There's a lot of. It's funny. I came to California. Everything closes at 2 a.m. Beaches close at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, and other places open at 3 in the morning. So you never have to stop.
You never had to stop.
No.
You're just always partying. So
Yeah.
it's good that you came to California.
It slowed me down a little
Your
bit.
liver's all, thank you.
Yeah, possibly.
So if you were to gamble,
Mm-hmm.
what do you prefer to play?
I'm a blackjack player because
Nice.
I feel I'm going to lose, but I'm going to lose slower. So
it's
like I
painless.
said, all I'm doing is going with my money to have
You
a
like
good time.
slow pain.
Slow pain,
Quick
slow
pain.
loss. No. Because this way I last longer. I could have fun talking to people. And I always do other things. I do the spa day. I do whatever I can. Go to the pool, go to shows and things like that. Also, and eating.
Yeah.
I used to
food.
get my White Castles and
man.
Dunkin' Donuts. We didn't have that here in Bakersfield for a long time. We didn't have Dunkin' Donuts.
So do you have a favorite place to eat in Vegas? Like, is there a place when you go to Vegas you're like, okay, I have to go eat here because it's
White
this-
Castle really is my little cheat.
What?
Otherwise, I can go. I mean, I love the steakhouses and I like rodizio. I don't know if you know what that is. Brazilian food where
Yes.
where they
Yeah.
slice their
Yes.
wood. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I try to catch that when I'm there. But
Stop,
but
go,
first,
stop, go.
yeah,
That one.
Yes.
Yes. Bring me the meat. Stop
Yes.
bringing me the yes.
And keep bringing it. And
That I think I went there. Is it at the Mirage?
they have them in different places, and I'm kind of remembering one.
There's one in the Mirage, I think, because I went to the Beatles Love Show, and that's in the Mirage. Oh, so shows. What's your favorite show that you've seen?
Last one was I think it was Mystère. So it's been a while. It's
I've never
for
seen Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil. And weird story. So I get my big bucket of popcorn and I got my drink and all that. And you were walking to try to find your seat.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know that they have clowns in the audience area walking around. And I'm just walking by looking for my seat. And all of a sudden I feel snow. It's snowing around me. This clown smacked my popcorn in the air.
No.
I
Did they
didn't
get you a
know.
new popcorn?
I didn't know who it was. I turn around. I'm starting to chase him, and everybody's laughing until I figure out I'm chasing a clown, like a weird looking clown. And yes, they did give me more. First,
I'm gonna look out for that on YouTube. I feel like there's a clip of this somewhere.
I came back to the counter, and I'm like, "Can I get more popcorn?" And they're like, "The clown," and I'm like, "Yes." And they gave me another popcorn.
Oh, good. They replaced it
Yeah.
for free. So that's the last one you've seen. Have you ever seen Absinthe?
No,
The
I've
one
not.
Caesars? Oh man, that's a great one.
It's been a while since
It's
I've
in
been.
a tiny little circus tent,
Yeah.
and it's comedy, acrobat. It's hilarious. So definitely, I highly recommend if you ever go and you get the chance to see Absinthe, watch it. It's funny.
Then I like just going to the clubs too. I like going to Raw, things like that, just to go dancing or act like I'm dancing.
Act like you're dancing.
Yeah.
Are you a chair dancer or are you an actual dancer? Do you like sit?
Chair dancer. What's
Sit.
it?
Like right now, I'm chair dancing.
Oh, I do that too, usually in private. I know it's been a while since I'm not greasing the wheels anymore. It gets a little scary to dance, but I'm getting there. I used to think I was a great dancer, but I don't think I cared then.
No, I mean, and if there was videotape, it probably could be debatable because I thought I was a great dancer too. But
In my day, I got lucky we did not have cameras, right? There was no camera phones. There was some digital cameras, but there was nowhere to put it. So I'm on MySpace. I have a MySpace
VHS
profile.
rolling around somewhere with you in it, I'm sure.
Maybe. And I hung out in New York City even before I was 21. At 18, you can sneak into clubs in New York. You're supposed to be 21. So I've been to a lot of interesting clubs and
How
hanging out
long
with
does it
Billy
take to get
Idol and
from
Madonna. I didn't hang out with them personally. They're in the club with us and stuff like that. I did dance with Lisa
What?
in the Cult Jam.
You
She's
did?
a little short girl, yeah.
How
At the
fun.
club called The World. Back then, everybody's doing ecstasy, the smiley
Oh.
face with the bullet hole in it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So everybody's boots and pants.
that's my music.
Dang it! I was going to ask you another question. Now I'm just thinking about ecstasy over here. No. Oh, how long does it take to get from New York to New Jersey? Like,
So
is
I-
that a trip?
I lived
big thing?
in a place called Elizabeth, New Jersey. So 20 minutes to a half hour without traffic, I can get through the Holland Tunnel into Greenwich Village. And so I used to hang out in Greenwich Village a lot for drinking because they, again, didn't card you so hard there. And as long as you had money, you can drink.
Right.
They had a lot of good stuff there, old record album stores. Even though I'm short, I played ball. I tried to play on the court. I couldn't play with all the top names, but there's famous courts. You know how like White Men Can't Jump has
Yeah.
that play? There's a very famous court in the Village that a lot of people come to play. And Soho, this is another girlfriend in college. She taught me about this place. This place, Soho, South Houston Street, not Houston, Houston Street.
I caught that.
They have so many cool. They have the live mannequins in the windows. They have all these strange cafes and little bars where they do the readings and live readings. But she would always figure out fashion at least 6 months before the rest of the country. It's like everything new is in there first before it makes it to the rest of the country. I'm sure with internet it's different nowadays, but
right.
I'd always laugh at her with her cat glasses and bell bottoms. I'm like, what are you doing? And
and then 6 months
later everybody's doing it.
Maybe she was just a trendsetter.
She was pretty fashionable.
She was brave enough to do it first, and someone else seen it and was like, oh, that looks good, I'll try it.
She was, as a matter of fact, she was very trendy in the way, she was hanging out at Studio 54 like 13 years old, back in those days when it was pretty famous.
Yeah.
And she's not one of us. She's just adventurous. And for her gift every year, I call her a high maintenance girlfriend, right? Like it could be at Walmart and it could be at Macy's. You have to go get it at Macy's because it's more expensive. She would get a haircut, and it would, at the time, so I'm talking about 1986, 87, minimum $150 for the cheapest haircut. But the cool part was we'd go into a store by Central Park, and you'd have to walk parachute pants. Remember that?
Yes.
I don't know if you
Zeke
remember
Cavaricci's?
this. Yes, I'm a Zeke Cavarici guy. Cabizio shoes, little leather tie, leather silk tie. But there was a parachute pants store, and you go to the back, and there's a semicircle of mirrors. But she knew that this one mirror was a secret door, and it would spin, and you walk in the back. And it's a hair play studio. So stars would go back there. Nobody would know.
That's worth it.
And it's not, and was
he
a
haircut? That's an experience.
It's an experience. And not only that, like you can't even sit. Everything was a weird shaped table. I felt like I was poking my eye out everywhere I went because everything was sharp and angular. And then
Andy Warhol designed this place.
Possibly. And you'd have to kneel as they were cutting your hair, and they were pretty flamboyant. They were very loud and funny. I loved them.
And that wasn't socially acceptable in that time.
You
almost had to hide places like that back then.
In Greenwich Village, though, that's where it was. That's the beginning. And I'm not gonna lie. I don't know all the history of it, but it's very well accepted back there. Diversity is different back there than here.
I was reading about New Jersey. Like one of the things that drew people to New Jersey in the beginning was that you had freedom of religion there. You could essentially have whatever, like people did not discriminate against you for having a different belief. That's what I read on the internet. How true is that?
I don't know. Are you talking about like 13 colony days, or are you talking about, because in my day,
the original attraction to New Jersey was freedom of religion. That's what I read.
Could be. I mean, like I said, diversity is different. When I look at diversity here, there's so many different cultures. Everywhere you went, on the subway, walking down the street, there's a lot of people in the street. So there's a lot of religions. So you learn to be tolerant of whatever's going on, and you can understand only so much, but everybody's okay with each other, right? And it's a little bit different. So the gay community, I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but the LGBTQ community was big. It was a big community back there, and there's big groups, and in the colleges there was big groups. It was always just part of life. Something different.
So taboo as it was here, in the 80s and 90s, it was like
there's always haters everywhere for everything. But it was there.
This is true. I even have a hater on here. Hope you are watching this episode too, by the way. So let's see. I like to end these with just a random question. It's usually about money. So okay, you're in Vegas. You're on a hot streak. You're winning big time at blackjack. Before I ask you this question, what's the biggest jackpot you've ever won? I mean, approximately. I don't think the IRS is watching this either. No,
I mean, honestly, I think you guys, when I'm eating, like I take a break and I go eat at the little cafe, and there's that little Keno person that comes up.
Yeah.
I've won $750 like
on Keno.
On Keno.
My grandpa used to play
several times, like 2 times, and in one outing, not the same sitting, but in one weekend, like $750 and again $750. I'm like, wow. So that's my biggest win. Although I gotta admit that one time I was at the Palms. Do you have time for another story?
Yeah. So
I went with my friend, my brother from another mother. He's a Asian guy, And he's drunk. I'm drunk. We're having fun.
This was before 2004.
We were trying to go to the Sky Bar. I forgot the bar up at the top at the Palms. And
Top of the world.
and so there's a
That's
huge
what it's
line.
called.
And I'm a New Yorker. A New Jersey, New Yorker.
I don't do lines.
I'm not waiting in line. So I get to the front and I'm schmoozing the guy and I slap him some money and we're going to get on the elevator. But he goes, wait a second. And I'm talking to him and my friend is sitting here and not telling me Jenny McCarthy and the Playboy girls, the Play Bunnies, were walking behind me. I could have been on that elevator, but my damn friend didn't tell me that they're walking up.
That's a terrible friend. I hope you're not friends with him anymore.
We are. He's still my. But that outing, I did win a lot of black chips. So I had like $1,200 worth of black chips, but I was so drunk they had to take me off the table. And my friend brought me to the room and had to undress me and throw me in bed because I don't remember.
And that cost you all your black chips.
Well, I still had some. Even the dealers like take him away, give him his chips before he loses it all.
He's done.
I think that night I actually got thrown out of Dre's, the after hour club. If you guys remember that,
just tearing it up in Vegas.
And I'm usually not that guy. I'm not a fighter.
Anymore.
I'm usually in a good mood. I'm trying to make sure everybody's in a good mood. I'm that guy.
Larry's a lover, not a fighter.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so less than 2,000. Okay, so you're playing, you're winning, you're up $700,000. Are you gonna continue playing? Or are you gonna cash out?
No, I would cash out. I mean, I don't need that much more. I've discovered that life is. I have a lot of things, right? But my experiences and memories are more important to me. If you probably know, I'm a mountain climber. I like hiking mountains. I like grabbing peaks. I've traveled
you've done
a little
bunch
bit.
of like somewhat.
Mount Whitney's the biggest one I've
famous.
done, which is the tallest in the 48 states.
How long did that take you?
19 hours. It was a 19-hour
cannoli.
trip. It was a long.
So do you take a tent and you like take a nap halfway up? Or?
I do like coming home at the end of the day. So
you did that
camp straight. I started at midnight and finished it at 7 p.m.
At the top.
I got to the top and back. So
the top and back in 19 hours. Okay, because I was thinking 19 hours to the top. Then like, how do you even
a successful
home?
hike has to be back, right?
Okay,
you can't just do halfway. So it's a top and back. Yeah. So 19 hours. You have to get off the top. You have to be there by 10 a.m. At the latest, because after that storms come in and that's when lightning comes in. So it's not recommended to be up there after like they say noon, but so you should be headed down by then.
Did you have to take oxygen with you?
I did not. It's not. I had an oxygen canister just in case because there's a lot of altitude sickness. A lot of people turn back. A lot of people get sick. But you plan for it. Like I acclimated. I did other hikes, other mountains that kind of built up to that. So luckily I didn't need it. But it's funny. So it's 23 miles. I get to the last 1.9 miles, right? 1.9 miles to the top. I'm like, yes, it's almost all done. That was the hardest 1.9 miles because you're up at over 14,000 something feet.
And your tank's empty.
And it's
you're just
little track, rocks,
scary,
rocks and a cliff.
Dangerous.
If you mess up. And you're already like stumbling. So it's kind of an interesting part.
That's got to be an adrenaline rush though, huh?
I kissed the top when I got there, man. It's a wonderful rush though to finally get there. I think I enjoy it more when I get to the bottom. I'm like, I did it.
You did it.
And I even tattooed it on my forehead.
So is that why you do it? For the feeling at the end?
Meditation. Meditation. I get to talk to God. It's a sense of accomplishment. A lot of things like that. It's good for the head.
It's
good for the
really
heart.
Healthy for you to do it too.
Yes.
I can't think of a better hobby actually. Super good for you. So $700,000, you're going to cash out. What's the first thing you buy? Be honest. Are you going to a steakhouse and buying yourself a nice steak? Are you going to give a gift to?
Honestly, I would be probably distributing among, my sister,
your family,
actually baby mama, maybe a couple friends that are struggling. For me, nothing would change. I would go eat. I'd eat out at a steakhouse, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
If I ever got like stinking rich, like you win the $1 billion thing.
Right.
You don't
have to think about money anymore.
Where then I would go visit a new city in some other country or wherever I want to be for 1 year at a time. So I'm not just
you stay there,
not just tourist.
Year?
I don't want to see the tourist attraction. I want to feel the people for a year
You
and then go
become
find
part
somewhere
of the
else.
community.
Yeah, and then move on and see something else.
That would be very cool, but I feel like, man, that would be emotionally painful to like attach and then goodbye, attach. But I mean, I guess if you know you're going to go make new connections, it wouldn't be so hard.
A new experience. I don't know.
Yeah, to let go. That's awesome. So you would buy experiences.
Yes.
That's what you would
Memories, experiences, things like that.
Would you keep your house in Bakersfield or would you let me sell it? See how I did that?
We'll talk about it when we get there.
So I'm praying for Larry to hit it big. All right, before we end, this is the part that makes me nervous because I'm like the one that asks the questions and I know what I'm going to ask for the most part. I mean, some of our conversations kind of take weird left turns, but here's the moment of truth. Do you have anything you want to ask me before we finish here?
No, you know, I do get to know you a little bit around, you know, like we're friends outside the rooms. And I don't know if I'd have any question for you in public. But, well, okay. The same question back to you. What would you do with the $700,000 win?
With the money?
Yeah.
The first thing that I would do is, so silly. I would go buy my mom a house. My mom has always struggled and I would go buy her house and be like, and furnish it and be like, here, Mom, this is you. This is all you and no one can ever take it and you don't have to pay anything for it. And then after that, I really don't know. Like anytime I think about, if I win the lottery or whatever, and then it would just be, you know, basic stuff. Like I'd probably invest some money. I would 100%, I would want to take my mom, my daughter, all of my siblings on some sort of like really fun holiday, like Jamaica or the Bahamas or some place cool in Mexico. I don't know, just somewhere where we're all together and nobody has to worry about paying for anything, affording it. Like you just take time off and be there and I got you. And that would be what I would do.
So they're rooting for you too, huh?
I hope so. You better be.
Well, I should have asked you, what's the best pizza you had?
Oh, okay. So I didn't get to talk about that. So I went to Chicago in August and I tried deep dish pizza for the first time. So other than that, I've only had, you know, like, okay, before I had the pizza in Chicago and it was good. It was super, super good. And I just got a basic pepperoni pie. And before that, the best pizza I ever had was at Cetabello's in Henderson, Nevada. And it's like authentic Italian pizza, very thin crust, brick fired, like just there no pepperoni. They put like prosciutto on it and arugula and fresh mozzarella. It's like that's my number one. And then the place that I had, and I can't even think of the name, in Chicago, I think it was like Uno Pizza. Yeah, that's what it was. Uno
Place
Pizza.
not Pizzeria Uno.
Or is it that?
Well, that's a franchise, but okay.
Oh no, if that's it, that's probably what I did. Anyways, I had, I think that's it. I'd have to look it up. It probably is. Dang it. I have to go back. I need a do-over. I hope they send me back to Chicago this year. So Cetabello's was definitely my favorite.
It's funny because even Italians usually admit New York, Jersey pizza's better. And
I've never
I
had.
love Italian pizza. Don't get me wrong.
I've never been to New York. I've never been to Jersey. So I don't feel like I can judge that pizza. I've never had it.
Yeah. And I think it's people that came here, Italians that came here, created it in the first place. So it's not came from over Italy, but I'm not sure, you know. I'm a Italian wannabe, I guess.
So you
But no, I mean, like you said, I ordered pepperoni pie, and I was just there a couple weeks ago, and it's so many levels better than anything here.
You were in Jersey?
Yeah, my mom had a heart issue, and so I went to be with her and help her. Yeah, she's thankfully good and in good spirits. And
where did you go eat pizza?
Oh no, it could be. Well, I have in my town. There's a place called Pizza Villa. As long as you go to a Luigi's, a Tony's, a Mama's, just don't go. Like my dad.
Go to a Jane.
My dad is like, let's go to Jersey Mike's. I'm like, no, Dad, I got Jersey Mike's. I'm here to eat local, like, so I'm eating.
I was like, Jersey Mike's pizza sandwiches.
But I mean, they have, I'm not doing I did White Castles while I'm in my hometown, pizza, and I did diners. Diners are something that I can't explain it. It's so much food of every different type all in one place. It's really, it's an experience also. And Colombian food. I love Colombian food. It tastes great. It's pure cholesterol. And if you eat too much, you're going to die, but it's great.
Oh, we're all going to die anyways. You might as well die eating something delicious. What's your favorite thing to eat in Bakersfield, California? Do you have a favorite restaurant here?
It's a good question. Favorite restaurant? I don't know.
Have you ever been to Horse in the Alley?
No, I have not.
Okay, go to Horse in the Alley, and then we need to have another podcast, and I just want his opinion on Horse in the Alley because it's.
I mean, like I like steakhouses. I used to like Hungry Hunters, but I still go to Black Andic. Like Tahoe Joe's is pretty good to me.
No, you got to try Horse in the Alley.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they open at 5:00. I think they're only open like 5 days a week, maybe 6. It's in the alley.
Okay.
Between 17th and 18th.
Sounds like where Joseph's used to be, or.
No. Joseph's was over by Montgomery Ward Plaza. Yeah. This used to be Maxwell's Fine Dining a long time ago. Anyways, phenomenal. They have linen tablecloths. You have to make a reservation. You're not going to just be able to walk in there. But it's worth every
Do I need my $700,000 win before I can go over there? Or?
No, you'll be fine.
Okay.
You'll be fine. Just like, you don't drink alcohol, so you'll be fine. I think that's where people, that is a significant difference when you go to a restaurant and you don't have an alcohol tab.
Yeah.
It's like, I can afford anything.
When I go to LA, I like Morton's, Arnie Morton's Steakhouse.
Morton's is good.
And then Colombian food over there.
Ruth Chris? You ever go to Ruth Chris?
I do, but I don't. The quality is iffy. To me, I've had good and bad there. So Arnie Morton's never fails.
Jocko's in Napomo, California.
I haven't. Okay.
100% best steakhouse in
Buca
California.
de Beppo is when I want to get Italian food down there, but you got to go with friends.
Yeah. They have really good random, they're healthy. They're Brussels sprouts. And they put like pork and they're not healthy.
As long as you add bacon on it, you're good, right?
Yeah.
Can I tell you? Oh.
No, go.
One thing we're talking about pizza and I had a hard time finding it here. So I got 2 recommendations. Well, one, I'm a nerd, right? I'm a comic book guy and I ran into Kevin Smith, Clerks, Silent Bob. And I'm sitting there talking to him at a Comic-Con. It's funny because we're talking so much. He's from Elizabeth. He made his first movie in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And so we're talking. I turn around. Everybody's like, hey, can you move it on? But he says Mulberry Street. There's a restaurant in L.A. called Mulberry Street. There might be 4 branches, but they have the good pizza. I have yet to find out. There used to be a place on Wilshire Boulevard, 1 Wilshire Boulevard, called New York Pizza. He's a guy from Brooklyn, came to L.A., and he couldn't make his pizza right. So he started one by one bringing all the ingredients over, and he still couldn't get it right. He finally had to bring the water over from Brooklyn, and he makes the pizza, and it tastes exactly like back home. So us Jerseyans, when I was working in LA, anybody near that place had to bring a pie back to the office.
It's the rules.
New York Pizza on 1 Wilshire.
So what I heard is there's no good pizza at Bakersfield because you didn't say anything about any pizza. I'm not going to make you say
even bad pizza is good pizza. I do like Costco pizza. I do like Cataldo's. They're decent.
Yeah.
Shit, even Celeste microwave pizza to me is okay. So
I'll throw a Tony's
I'll take
frozen
the
pizza
man.
in the oven any day of the week. The square pepperoni, I don't even care. Well, this was fun. Thank you so much for taking time to be here and be my guest today. And thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the beBetter podcast. beBetter podcast is not just about real estate. It's about being better in general. So go out there and be your best self today. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thanks for having me.